Today we're talking about my wedding photography kit for 2022. A lot of things you've seen before, but one thing is absolutely missing, and there are two bonus items that you have not seen before. So let's talk about it. I guess that's the intro. Canon R3 is the main camera of the year, and the 50mm f1.2 as a main lens. So this is kind of the main kit. It is a little bit heavy, and if you don't want to spend the money on the f1.2 version, the f1.8 version actually works out pretty well. One of the main benefits of this 50 is that you get really great background separation. So your couple, your bride, your groom is going to be in focus, and the background can be completely blurred out into a very nice, creamy, out of focus bokeh. And if you have full control over your depth of field, you are going to come away with much nicer images. Also much softer overall feeling images, not out of focus, but softer feeling, which I feel like really accentuates the prettiness of a wedding day. I shoot with two cameras. The second camera is the Canon R6, which you probably saw me using a lot last year, and the 35 f1.8 is on this camera pretty much all of the time. I do have a 16mm lens that sits in my bag, and if I ever just find myself in a corner, it's a very, very small lens. If I ever find myself in a corner and I have to do a group shot of 100 people, I can get it done, but I would much rather do a group shot with this 35 and find a way to make it work so no one on the edges is weirdly distorted. In fact, we're using the Canon 35 f1.8 right now. Tim is shooting this video on the 35 1.8. Next up, 85mm Samyang. This might be maybe not a surprise if you're a follower of the channel. Also subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment. Those are all the things. This 85mm Samyang was my go-to for last year. It is still my go-to for engagement shoots if I'm out there and I have all the space in the world to work with. What I've discovered this year and over the past couple of years is that 85 is a little long as a full all-day lens. I love the look of it. I love the feeling of the images that come from this lens, but something like a 50 can get you through more of a day without having to go too much to a 35. I feel like this 50 is kind of the perfect medium. I used to shoot 85-35 all day. I feel like I can get most of that done with just a 50, but the time that this lens will be absolutely in use is during the ceremony when I want to get just a little bit closer, and during speeches and first dances, so I don't have to be right in front of people at a podium in between them and the guests, that I can get the shots that I need from the back of the room. And you may notice one thing that's missing this year that I've talked about in all of my other gear videos, and it is a 70-200, and why I don't have one this year. I found last year that my 85 got me through everything that I needed from a wedding day, and the 70-200 is both expensive as well as heavy, and it's just not something I found myself using. It's always been kind of that ceremony workhorse lens for me, and it's absolutely still a valid tool. If you want to buy one, I would say get the Tamron, maybe the G2, and use it through an adapter if it's not a lens you're going to be using all day. But I'm personally excited to kind of minimize my kit and just use the 85 for ceremonies this year. Next up, flashes. Godox V1, the most, I can't say now, I'm not even going to talk about it, it's so good. Just go get one. And also a transmitter for it, so you can use this on camera. You can use this on camera to control other one. If you get two flashes, you can have one off camera and control it with this, or you can use one of these controllers or the X Pro controller. I like both of them equally. Speaking of this controller, it also controls my new favorite wedding photography tool, which is this Stella Pro reflex light. It is an incredibly powerful video light, but it also works as a flash as well. So if you have this on your camera, you'll see what channel you're on, and you can actually strobe this. I find myself using a video light more, that I can just walk into a room, and with the incredible brightness of this, I can just light kind of whatever I need. I'm using this similar to how I use my flash as well, where I'll bounce this off of something in order to get a little bit more light into the room and to just kind of give me something that feels natural. I don't want my wedding day photos to feel like they've been lit, and to hide this in a corner somewhere or bounce this off a ceiling just to give you a little bit more light to work with is an incredibly powerful thing. And then the other addition that I have this year, so if I want to do some couples portraits, say we're in a space like this and it's nighttime, so now you can have either yourself or a second photographer hold this, and you can light your couple in whatever environment you want, so you're no longer kind of at the mercy of where the good light is. You can go anywhere and you can light it up. And last up, this all goes into this Peak Design Everyday Messenger. I enjoy this bag because it fits everything that I need. It's also on year 2.5, and it still looks completely brand new. I feel like you'll find that with any of the Peak Design products, and everything is easily accommodated, as well as whatever other random things you may pick up on a wedding day, such as cell phones from the couple. If you're on an engagement shoot, usually you're collecting keys and things, so they don't just have them in their pockets. Everything fits in the bag nicely, and I am very, very happy with it. That's my kit for 2022. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments below, and I will absolutely get back to you, or someone else that maybe knows more about your specific camera system may be able to help you out. This video is sponsored by Focal. There's a link in the description. You can go and you can get a Focal website, you can get a Focal backend. Go check it out. Be successful because you're a good photographer, and not just because you're good at SEO and all the other stuff that you didn't really get into photography for. That's the ad. Bye, Tim. Bye. Have a nice day.